influx of sales of Merkabas, by the way.
Broadcast is live.
We're live.
We are live.
Oh my gosh, yay.
We made it.
We made it.
This is,
Hi, everyone.
Yes, you guys, thank you for your patience. It has been a little interesting. We had some three camera issues actually, and then mic issues. So we are here and we are in your face, showing up no matter what. We ain't going nowhere. We are here to bring some fun and some truth and hopefully some activations. I am agreeing and believing that this entire show will activate your field, your DNA, and we are overcomers. So, that's just how it is. We're going to get going here. I am here. My name is Dr. Sharnael Wolverton Sihon, and I'm here with Craig Walker and Elena again. We are doing a part 2 from a series we started 2 weeks ago, a week ago.
2 or 3, yeah.
Yes. And so I would love to, first of all, just say how excited I am about this part 2. And you guys stay tuned. Everyone who's watching, if you could do your due diligence, please share, tag, let people know about this, because we would like to activate everybody in the entire universe. That's just me. I like love. I like truth. And we want to carry the truth activation throughout all the ethers and all the galaxies. And so please do your due diligence. Also, you can go to swiftfire.org and get my newsletter, because we've had some more interference with censorship, and I want to make sure that you guys can keep up. So why we are here, I would love to hear where you're from. I'm seeing people here from Germany on. That's really cool. Hey, Germany. I used to live in Bremerhaven. I was there 4 years. We're talking, Metrograde will do that, Empress. Yes, you're right. I got it. I also see Belfast is here with us. Awesome. Hey, Thomas. And of course, we have the beautiful Veronica from Norway. Super cool. I'm Norwegian. My grandparents came from Norway. So we got Michigan in the house. We got Connecticut in the house. We got Tucson in the house. We got Malaysia on with us. That's really cool. We got Florida, Wyoming. Mike is here. So if you guys could please, all of y'all, peoples, Boston. We got the UK.
I just saw Lancashire. I'm Lancashire. Hey!
Yay, Lanka. Yes. So as you guys are filing in, like I said, we're a little tiny bit delayed, but there is no such thing as time. So is there really a delay, or are we just right on time? Yes. So I would like to introduce the beautiful Elena, and we're going to have Craig and I are going to have a great discussion with her today about med beds and consciousness and just kind of where we're at right now. Elena and Craig, hi, how are you?
Fantastic. Thank you, Sharnael, to do this again, and looking forward to our little chat.
Awesome. How you doing, Craig?
Yeah, super good. Like I say, it's red out here in Lancashire, or it is for me anyway. So I'm nice and red. But yeah, like I say, I mean, let's just crack on. I mean, after last time, I had so many people sort of requesting me, because I mean, Elena's just becoming so popular on the internet, and I think what that tells me is that people are ready to hear this kind of stuff. People are really, really ready to hear what's going on. I think with all the events of the past sort of 16 months, and that everyone's whole world has been changed and shaken up. It's like people are asking the bigger, deeper questions, and I think it's somewhat by design that break the status quo, which is what's been done. And although it's a very difficult time for many, it's a necessary time, I believe, that to cause people to start thinking and looking for deeper meaning and higher perspectives. And I think this is raising the general conscious awareness of humanity. And people like Elena are completely inspiring, who are having the courage to come out with your story, Elena, and not just your story, but your perspective and you really help me to see things from a much higher perspective as well. Like sometimes I get bogged down with what's going on and stuff, and then I just sometimes remember, hold on, you know, there's some really benevolent people helping us in this. We're in good hands, and thank you very much for being so faithful with your story and just being you.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's just wow. But you got my point at the end. Just being you, be who you are, and that's so much. That tells everything. That's more than being who you are. Not be who you are. That's it.
That's it. And if I've learned anything, when all of this started kicking off, I would always hold back with the stuff that I was into. Yes, I have been getting some vitamin D. Thank you very much, PCG Terry. I would always, this kind of stuff, I've been into it for a very long time, you know, like researching and wondering what's been going on, but I would never speak about it publicly. But when all this kicked off, something I got was be yourself, be genuine, be real, be yourself, be unique and authentic. And I think that's what's happened. It's causing people to become themselves, who they really are, and embody their consciousness. Sharnael, you teach a lot about this. I mean, this has been your message like since I've ever sort of got to know you. So what have you got to say?
Well, some of you know my story, as I had a definite encounter with some off-being planets who came and brought that message to me in 2010 or 2009. I have to look and see the documents. I think it was August, but it was either 9 or 10. And it literally changed my entire frequency. Now, my language for that at the time was angels, which actually means messenger. And it was the message that I took from that encounter was, you're not truly living unless you're living true. And I knew that that was so much bigger than just words or thoughts, but that was to embody truth with, you know, who you hang out with, where you go, what you're doing, just everything. Your entire existence here is for the upgrade of ourselves, but also as a collective. And if each of us individually carry your own individual authenticity, I mean, where would we be? I mean, this would be so beautiful for all of us as a planet, and everything, including purity of water, purity of food. I mean, when I think of truth, I think of absolute integrity, mind, body, and spirit, and truth and purity. And so we have a lot of opportunities now, specifically, to raise that frequency, and which is why why I titled this "Upgrading Your Consciousness," because consciousness is that truth, that ability, that God, that source code within our DNA that projects out, but also God in action, like actually making choices moment to moment to moment, second to second to second, that line up with what God would have you individually do. And you know what I do and what Craig does and what Elena does, we might not even be the same exact on how we do it or what we're doing, and thank God, because diversity is absolutely important for the entire piece of the puzzle. But Elena, tell us what do you think about it? I mean, authenticity is a vibration that's tangibly felt. And you live, both of you guys live this. So, but I'd love to hear your thoughts, Elena.
Well, I think authenticity is being honest with yourself. When you are honest with yourself, you are in peace with yourself, accepting as well your faults as well as your qualities, both, because you need also to accept your qualities and embody them. That's as important. When you do that, when you're at total peace within yourself, you radiate a higher frequency. Why? Because the mind, the monkey mind, the 3D mind doesn't interfere with guilt, shame, denial. That's low vibration, low frequency that lock us down. They're not good. So just admitting who we are with all our mistakes and the things to improve, that's fantastic, because suddenly we are who we are, humbly, and we try to be better, and we just love ourselves, and just that's it. And we are this being inside, and that's when we are suddenly attuning to a higher frequency, because these bodies are just flesh suits, temporary flesh suits. What's inside, it's really us. That's who we are. So when we accept we are attuning to the density and the frequency of this being inside, and we are it, and we radiate this frequency. And because we start to radiate this frequency, to broadcast it, it's going to lift and elevate the frequency of everything around, everything our energy field or mind touches. So be yourself. Yeah.
Super. And that leads nice on something I was going to ask you last time, and time just went on. But I'm still out there. I work and I deal with a lot of just normal everyday folk and what have you. And the stuff I'm into, I'm a bit out there. How do you deal with? Did you come across any skepticism of your story and the things you put out? Have you come across that yet?
Not anymore. At the start, yes. Well, all my life I've come with skepticism, but I could really feel a change, a shift in the mentalities and in the openness of consciousness until, for me, it changed in 2018. Until 2018, I couldn't talk about my ET contact experiences because I was scorned, and just people were joking, come on. But suddenly something changed in the mentalities. It was a new era when we could speak about UFOs openly, and nobody would then criticize you're drunk or you're whatever. No, oh my God, that may be a UFO. Oh wow, let's, that something changed, and I felt suddenly safe because something has lifted in a higher frequency in the whole planet, that now it was safe to talk about it. Personally, I sensed it in 2018, but it may be different experience for different contactees.
Yeah, I think something. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, go on.
Craig and I have talked about this a lot. We think there was definitely something that happened. Whether
ties in, doesn't it? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a timing issue. Going back to time again, and I would like to talk about timelines in a minute, but I think something definitely shifted in different periods, and that seems like a biggie that keeps coming back. What were you going to say, Craig?
Yeah, I was just going to say, something you teach, Sharnael, is that the truth carries a frequency, and in this day and age of so much fake news and misconception and misleading information, etc., I think we've all kind of learned that we've got to tune into our inner BS monitor, and when I hear you, one of the things I hear when I listen to you, Elena, is just that frequency of truth, and it's just crucial in this time that we speak our truth and come out with the things that we're here to say, because I think the harvest is right. People are ready to hear this information. Like you say, about 2018, things start to shift energetically. I have looked into things, but there was things happening cosmically, where we are in our cycles, cosmic cycles, etc., and it's having an effect on human consciousness, and it's really, really exciting. And I can only see sort of you're going to be very, very popular.
Well, it's not about me; it's about the message,
I understand that. Yeah.
Definitely. Speaking of popular, I know you just had an interview with, oh gosh, now he's escaped me, Alex. And it's specifically on the topic of timelines and disintegration of certain timelines. Can you speak into that a little bit? Because I haven't got to watch the whole interview, and maybe some of these guys aren't familiar with Alex, but oh my God, love him. And your interviews have been so good. Tell us about this timeline shift.
There was, how to put that? We were going for a timeline of suffering and enslavement and doom, and the whole galaxy was going towards this, because why I connected so well with Alex Collier, it's because the info I've been given totally matched with the info he was given very much early, decades ago. So in the future, from now 300 and so years, Earth years, the galaxy is under a tyranny, a horrible tyranny of a very powerful empire, which is triple component, and it always goes by a triangle. Evil, that's with ETs. They like that. They put whatever in the middle. So the galaxy is really ransacked by tyrannized by this. It's Sikaar Empire, Nebu, Orion, and the Dark Fleet, Earth Dark Fleet. They call it the Dark Alliance, deities. So the Andromeda Council has traced back to the seed, the start of this, to try to change it in the past. That's now. Trace back to Earth, its moon, and Mars, and it's exactly the main outpost of the Dark Fleet. You have also Ceres, Saturn, but the main is Earth, its moon, Mars. So the Andromeda Council, they are not a military force, really. So they asked the Galactic Federation of Worlds to come and to go there and intervene. The Galactic Federation of Worlds has been here all the time. Well, not all the time. It's a very long time. So, but they had then enforcement from a little bit in the future. That's why it's so crowded at the moment. These ETs are very comfortable with time jump and mash. We are not. So it's always uncomfortable to speak about these time things mix up. But they understand it. It's fine. They try to change the timeline. They were here to change that timeline by suffocating the seed in the egg, the embryo in the egg. They've liberated They've liberated the moon, Earth moon, from the Greys and the Dark Fleet, and simultaneously on Earth and on Mars at the moment there are operations conducted by the Galactic Federation and ground alliances to kick out these baddies. And since the moon has been liberated, Mars is now cut off from their contacts in Aldebaran. Earth is the same. All the elites have gone to Mars. It's really, we're winning the Antarctica, the Dark Fleet, and the Draco reptilian, Nazi Draco reptilian is leaving, or even has left already. The Earth Alliance is winning. I mean, the things have changed. So now this nefarious future doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. It's gone. We've all changed our timelines. But now it's not the moment to say, oh, light has won. Yay. No, we need to finish the work. Otherwise it will go back. We need to now. That's the moment when we have to fight like mad, like crazy, raise your frequency, because the timeline has changed. The timeline has changed. Now we are heading toward a positive, constructive, creative future. And we're on it, but it's all fresh. We have created a fork, and we are just at the start of the fork, but there's still interaction with the old timeline who's going away. So that's how the timeline has changed, because we made it by action. It's huge war. There's lots going on at the moment. So it's that's how we did it.
Wonderful. I saw your video the other day. Sorry, Sharnael, that you did about about the future, and you pretty much spoke about that, and I was like, that's just amazing. I mean, I remember watching Kerry Cassidy interview. His fake name was oh, what was it? I forgot his name now. His real name was Arthur Newman, anyway, and he was a German descent scientist, and he actually whistleblew to Kerry. Henry Deacon was the fake name he gave, and he spoke about, you know, he was based at a military base here in the UK, and he'd go to work in the morning. He'd walk down this corridor, and at the other end of it, he ended up on Mars. It was a portal, and he would go to work on Mars all day, finish his day at work, come home, go home for tea, and he'd been on Mars all day. You know, this is the kind of technology that is available, and I believe we are going interstellar as a species. Absolutely, we are. Sorry, yeah, go on.
We are already an interstellar species,
yes.
But this technology is hidden from the public and the civilians, because it's at the moment a lot of this technology is in the hands of nefarious structures. Not all, but for the moment, it's not the time yet. The civilians have it. War needs to be sorted out. Yes, there are portals. I mean, the Federation the Galactic Federation has shielded this whole solar system in a sphere of frequency and plasma. I don't know exactly how it works, but that nobody can come in and out. But they're using portals. There's portals everywhere. So at the moment, they are shutting them up by finding the right frequencies, because every portal has a frequency key to activate it. So they're hunting frequencies at the moment, scanning the whole system. Amazing. And it's very interesting. I've seen actually one portal in one of their work one day by telepathy with Thoran. It was quite mind-blowing.
I bet it was.
What's that thing? This is a portal. Oh my God.
Amazing.
Well, and there's underground activity even on the Earth itself. So being able to just shoot over to Australia or wherever underground is, you know, this stuff isn't talked about. It's being more talked about in the last couple of years. But interesting. But yeah, where do you think 30 Seconds to Mars came up with that? There's a lot of people in the music industry and in the celebrity fields that know all of this information, and they're, you know, trying not to talk about it, talking about it. They're just minions of being a part of this, of just not only the drip, but just the distraction with false information, misinformation. But some of them are trapped with blackmail and that kind of stuff, and then every now and then they'll leak out things that they know through the music industry or acting or movie productions, and you know, putting that stuff out there. But yeah, going back to the timeline issue, and you mentioned, you know, how this is not a time to just be like, okay, yay, we win, let's just go back to our normal, you know, everyday slacker days where we just take everything for granted and are just super entitled. Because I can even see on Facebook when memories come up of like a year or two ago where we were out doing things, you know, going places, traveling freely, you know, what have you. It's like, oh, those are the good old days. You know, it's like, I feel like those old people that look at pictures and go, remember that? But so what, I'll start with you, Craig, and then go to Elena. What do you think are some things that we can do besides just nutrition, you know, using our voice, you know, doing things on a natural, healthy, get outside, those kind of things, as far as anchoring, like Elena says, anchoring in this timeline?
I think education is vitally important. Doing our own research. I mean, it will take you into places that you never dreamed imaginable. I mean, you know, I stumbled upon that Henry Deacon thing with Kerry Cassidy, and kind of understanding where we are, where we're at. I mean, something that Elena was an archaeologist as well, I believe. discovering our kind of galactic history. You know, we think, oh, this future technology is going to be wonderful. This technology has been here for thousands and thousands of years, and the ancients used this technology. So, you know, I said this on a Facebook post recently. You know, there's nothing new age about what's going on at the moment. It's not new. It's very, very old. It's ancient technology that has been hidden from people, hidden from us. You know, normal everyday folk. The elite have kept it for themselves and used it, and just created a slave species out of everybody else. And those days are over. You know, that's what's being dealt with right now, like Elena says, with the, you know, the very fact that source of this corruption hasn't originated on this planet. It's come from other places, Orion and the reptilians. Getting slightly off the point there, but yeah, I cannot stress enough how much we need to research, go beyond modern education, because it's rubbish. It's you know what they teach them at schools, for example, and you know, you'll find out things like we didn't win World War II. It's a shocking thing, and people get really angry at me for saying it. But what's happening now at this moment in time is the agendas that were allowed to remain during World War II and after World War II. That's what's being dealt with right now. You know, the 1930s German party made contact with these nefarious beings, and you know, the Galactic Federation of Worlds has had to come in and deal with it on our behalf. And like Elena said last time, some of them are losing their lives and being injured on our behalf. And we have so much to be grateful for right now. So that's what I'd say. Research, research, research. Be open-minded. Forget everything you've ever known, and be like, I see myself as a child. You know, I feel like I know nothing. And the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. Always be willing to learn and ready to learn, and humble about it.
That's really good, Craig. And look, why we're waiting. Can you guys hear that ticking sound? Do you guys hear like a?
Not too much.
Okay,
Not too
good.
much.
I'm just making sure. Why? I'd love to hear what Elena has to say, but I'd also like to hear what you guys have to say. What are your ideas in the chat room on what we can do to keep and hold the anchor of this timeline? Elena, go for it.
Well, refusing fear first.
That's so good.
Yeah,
so good.
refusing fear. That's it. Anything that is generated by fear, refuse it. Fear is not, it's broadcasted. They broadcast fear. First, switch on the damn TV. That's the first thing. Switch off the TV.
Yes.
Now, then once it's done.
All of a sudden it all goes away.
Magical.
Yeah.
Magical. Then you're going to have then fear that will be shared with you from people who are contaminated by fear. Just don't pass it on. It stops by you. It stops at you. Fear stops at you. That's it. You will hear fear. Okay, yes. Try to calm down the person. If you can't, it's their path. Let them deal with that. But just oppose peace, and no, it's fine. It's their reaction, their attitude, their reaction. It's not mine. I know things. I know what I want to believe in, and I'm myself, and I will not pass it on. That's it. You know,
that is huge.
Massive.
That's so huge. Yeah, just this week I had another wake up. I mean, we're waking up every second, but if we have to recommit in our mindset 500 times an hour, do it, because everything with TV and music comes in at high beta, which is fight or flight. And so they're pumping this out to our beta through beta waves, which if we're not careful and awake and aware, like Elena's talking about, then yeah, we're gonna submit to that common code and then participate. And I've had to catch myself about some things that are popping up here, and of just nope. you know, to pent, you know, the penthouse, to repent. This is the penthouse, the highest of the apartment building, right? It's to repent, it's to think again, to start over, you know, to have the mind of Christ and have that Christ consciousness, that love consciousness of only imagining what we choose to see as the outcome. And like, I don't know, you mentioned the war situation, World War II. There's actually a Netflix series called Man in the High Castle. I don't know if you've seen it, but it talks about that timeline of really a slight different, because they not only won the war in that timeline, but they didn't have to do it undercover. They were open about it, and there was just whole different you know, spin on it. Well, the guy who wrote that also wrote Blade Runner and a few other movies. He wrote those movies out of experience, not out of just imagination. He swears that he has been all over different timelines and came back and wrote the timelines of what's currently going on in different timelines, which I thought was just fascinating. But yeah, Elena, what do you think about all that?
About what? About these the timelines again?
About multiple timelines going on simultaneously.
I don't know about that. I think we take a path and we do it, because that would involve multidimensional aspect of it. But something that's difficult to understand is that if there were parallel timelines coexisting, it would change all the time. I mean, your actions will modify something, and it's like from this point you modify something, it's going to create a bifurcation, and then another one, and it's not parallel anymore. It's parallel just for a fraction of a second. So that's something, you know, a difficulty to understand how it could be all the time parallel. Like, you know, it's parallel at the moment it's created, but it changes straight away after, because you take different decisions, you know. I don't know about that. I think there is one timeline for each species, and we've taken it, and the old one has dissolved into oblivion. You know, that's what how I understand it.
Amazing.
And with the fear aspect, sorry, Craig,
That's okay.
what are you guys' ideas besides turning off the TV? How not to entertain fear? Like, how do you guys do it? And how do you guys do it watching? I'd love to hear you guys. Yeah. Just throw it out.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you're transformed by the renewing of your mind, are you not? You just when something comes in, you just have to mentally, I'm not going down that road. I mean, you know, I've heard people say before that they just get bizarre thoughts coming about something horrible happening to the child or something like that. And you've just got to, I'm not going down there, because your thoughts create your reality. You know, your consciousness creates your reality. If you dwell on those thoughts and then you feel the emotion of the fear, you're going to manifest things you don't want to happen. You know, be very, very careful and conscious of your thoughts. And that's why, you know, I say TVs are hypnotic. They will put you in a hypnotic state and program your mind the way they want you to think what they want you to think. It's like Elena says, I mean, best thing I ever did was get rid of the BBC TV license out of my house, because as soon as I did that, it was like we were just free from that crap. And yeah, we watch Netflix and we stream things and whatever. You know, my kids still want to watch things, but you know, just cutting that you know, severing that from my house was just crucial for waking up, because just the very frequency of it coming into your house has an effect on your conscious mind. And it's shows like this and people like us talking, it will raise the vibration of the watcher and the people who are commenting. And a lot of people are saying we're going to need healers, and I absolutely agree that we need people who know about energetic healing, you know, healing the emotions, healing the body, and you know, that kind of leads on to what you were saying before about your experiences with med beds and things like that, because they are coming. It's not a conspiracy theory. They are very much available. And Elena, I believe you've had experience with some you shared on Facebook, and I was like, wow, you know, I mean, what can you tell us?
Well, I don't usually share it because it's a private matter. It was concerned my health, but I had something to be removed from me, and that was actually from remaining from my abduction at 9, and there was. It was in France. It was experimental. So how it happened, it wasn't really advertised at the time. It was in 2000, about, I think it's. So I was at the time working in Egypt, and I was in France for the summer holidays, and I had this this thing to remove in my belly, and I when I came back to France, there was I had an experience to be taken on board my friend ships, the Nordics from the Federation, and they would say they would show me a way to help me remove this thing. And I think they didn't do it because they wanted me to discover this. Maybe it allows me now to talk about it. You know, everything follows a plan. They know the future. They know it. So, you know, if they don't do something and let you do it, it's because it's going to serve a purpose. And here we go. So I was in a garage, car repair, and you know how it is. And the last thing you expect to find in such a place is a tall, blonde Nordic lady with glowing white skin and long hair, very slim, walking and sitting in front of you and looking with big green eyes, and you go like, oh, wow. She stayed there like 5 or 10 minutes, sat watching me, looking at me. Maybe she was trying to make contact, but I was not receptive, probably. She stood up and she left. She walked towards me, she left, and she dropped a leaflet and she walked away. And my going to receive a sign and guidance. And that was it. So, and that was the contact details of a professor, a French professor in a clinic in France who was doing sound frequency treatment with a special machine coming from the US. So I took an appointment and went there, and it was very selective. I went there twice, and I was accepted because my case was a case study. I had an appointment. I arrived in the morning. I needed to take a shower with betadine and to be totally clear from anything. And they took me to a room. It looked like a scanner, you know, MRI, but it wasn't. It was bigger and way bigger, and it was like bit egg shape thing. And normally MRI it's like just a tunnel, and there was this bed on the front, and there was kind of a water underneath. That's weird. And they laid me down here, and they gave me a drug to calm me down, because they said that you're going to hear sounds and you need to be totally immobile and not move. So they gave me a drug that just neutralized my nervous system. I was just like veg. And I went in, and the thing, I went in, and the thing was just, there's something turning very fast inside, and lights underneath, and suddenly sounds came like if they were somebody was shooting. Ladies, weird sounds, and I could feel a warmth in my belly, and the modulations of sounds were changing, and it lasts, I think, half an hour, and the thing slid out, and the lady behind the glass, she said, well, that's done. It's disintegrated.
Wow.
I think, how can you disintegrate something in me? Well, they explained to me it was through sound frequency waves. And I thought, so the thing is, it was a prototype machine coming from the US, lent by some US company to this private clinic as experimental. And so it wasn't part of the French social services or medical card. So, I was considered like a guinea pig. You know, it's all this protocol, agreed to be tried for science, but and the thing just disappeared. It wasn't there anymore.
Wow.
And I left in the afternoon. I just stayed not even a day. And knowing more about med beds later, I went, oh my God, that was one. That was a med bed using sound frequency. And oh my God. It was in the year 2000, and my friends upstairs, they had told me that I would be guided to the right technology, and because now I can talk about it.
Yeah.
And I had no clue that it was a medbed until I got to know what a medbed was, and I went. And Myra just explained to me a lot what they were doing to heal, especially rescued children upstairs in their station. Using med beds. They don't call it like this, of course, but frequency pods, I think. I don't remember. It's the same thing. They bombard with the right sound frequency. You know, we start to discover, the civilians, the public start to discover the unlimited power of sound healing and sound techniques, tuning forks and so and so. But that's just the top of the iceberg. That's just like I mean, tuning forks are amazing, but it's like cave age, you know, of I know, you know, but I mean, there's real alien technology who gave that to us, you know, and they gave that to us. That's the Galactic Federation, like in the 1950s, and it started to be released because the baddies are losing. So now it's possible to release these things.
Wow. Well, I'm happy with this interview already. That's amazing.
I know.
I have a question about it. So how could you feel? I mean, obviously you've heard
nothing.
You didn't feel anything.
I heard sounds, and I knew there were sounds that were happening that I wasn't hearing out of my range. I felt a warmth, but nice, you know, just warmth and nothing specific. Just it was agreeable. Yeah, well, I was a bit stoned, but it was agreeable. No pain. No, they stoned me because it didn't want me to move.
Yeah.
So that was it, because they didn't want me to freak out and move. Oh, that was only for that, they told me.
I mean, I believe this is the same technology that they use to age regress people that have been in the secret space program.
Yeah.
It's just the possibilities are just endless. You know, for anybody, I presume people that follow you will know about that technology, that people will be taken, do a 20-year, 20 years in the secret space program, brought back, age regressed, and you carry on with your life. You know, this technology is available, and I always remember years and years ago, and I don't know if people will remember this, maybe about 15, 20 years ago, Michael Douglas, you know, the actor. It was announced he had stage 4 cancer. It was in the newspapers. The guy, you know, he's basically on death's door. The guy's going to die. A few days later, he's all right now. Anyway, next news. It was just like, what happened there? And I'm convinced that these elites have kept this technology to themselves. And I reckon he had access to this, and it just completely obliterated his stage 4 mouth or throat cancer, I believe. And that angers me, because I know people that have died of cancer, and I know this technology is available, and that really annoys me. Really, really annoys me. So I'm so grateful that these agendas are being removed. And you know, as difficult as this time is, it's a really positive time to be alive. And I think we're going to see our culture and our world shift so dramatically in the next several years, following what's going on now. So just hold the line.
Yes, hold the line. Don't give out to fear. Don't give your power away. Don't kneel. Stand up. And it's funny. I'm going to say something a bit cheeky, but somebody today on YouTube highlighted a comment, something I said in one of my videos. I think it was a video with Alex. Oh, I don't remember. I said something funny, but so depicting of what's happening. I said, "Stand up or bend over."
Oh, wow.
Yes, I love it.
Two options.
Well,
You're gonna get it.
that's pretty much it right now. And we're in an individual opportunity, which affects the collective. And yeah, I mean, choices. There's cause and effect with everything. The butterfly effect, and like Elena keeps talking about, every little single thing changes everything. And so the fact that they went backwards to fix the forward timeline, now we have to just make sure and hold where we're at so it doesn't fracture back, because they're trying to recalculate just like we are.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we just are on the stand up timeline. So it's let us walk and not stop and kneel again, because we can kneel at any moment. So let's keep on walking.
Well, and what I was thinking is, just with the medbed situation, for example, back in the 40s when Tesla was doing all of this, we had it already.
Yeah.
So, and then it goes away. And that was reverse engineered ET stuff that he was getting all this information from, but it was hidden. And then you said 2010 was when your experience happened?
2000.
So that was 21 years ago, and like this has been not talked about still, and yet they were quote guinea pigging you. So obviously,
Where is it?
Yeah. So if we can maybe hold this and voice our choice, do the things, we could actually have a part in bringing this technology
Manifesting
forward.
it. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because in the past, not only Tesla was off in '86, but the Rife machine. I have BioGenius technology that can do it remote, so you don't even have to get in a pod, but it can do it remote. And people are like, "Well, how can that happen? How can that happen?" And people don't get all the time or understand that there is no time and space, and that we can remote view, we can remote heal. This technology came that I have because they were using it on the astronauts who were out doing whatever space missions they were doing, and super soldiers and what have you. So this is real. And just like Craig was talking about, 20 and back to age regress. I mean, this is just normal. And if we could come into agreement and remember and protect those who are coming out with this information, and not allow, anything, the bullies to get away with what they've hidden, and all the threats and what have you. So when do you think that this could happen, Elena? Do you have any guidance or?
Well, there is first something. Remind me that if I forget. But first, there is something I need to just put on the table about the med beds. Med beds means you either not never die, but your life is extended to a lot. People don't die, cancers are healed. I mean, the population is going to be mental on this planet. That is not good for the planet and for the species. That we need to be realistic with that. So I think it is very wise that for the moment, this technology is withheld from us. When this war is won and the bodies are really gone, and we will be able to leave this planet and go to our colonies, because we have colonies everywhere, and then this technology will be operational because it will be wise and reasonable. As I've been explained, normally in the natural evolution of a culture, the population growth goes in balance with the technology advancement. So that when the technology allows the species to leave their planet to go and create colonies everywhere else, it's at the moment where the population has grown so much that the planet is like suffocating. But the technology is ready, so we go and we go somewhere else and we just leave our cradle, you know. But that's not what's happening on Earth. That natural evolution has been blocked. So technology is withheld because otherwise that's this reason as well, you know. Why our technology has been withheld? It's withheld by the cabal and all the ET friends and stuff, because they don't want us to evolve. They want to keep us as a cattle planet, you know, like a farm planet.
Yeah.
That's over. That's being over now. But once, you know, we have Solar Warden. I mean, we already go out of the solar system. You know, it's already happening. It's just that we need to get rid of the baddies first. And once we have reclaimed our planet, our culture, everything, then this technology is wisely put out, because then we can extend our life and grow exponentially our the number of, you know, population, because we have the possibility to leave the planet and go populate somewhere else. If we hadn't this possibility, the medbeds would be a crazy idea. We need to be realistic with that and understand that. So patience. You need to fight. It's the moment when we fight. And oh yes, so you were asking me, Sharnael, when. So last year, Thorhan told me regarding to how things are going, it would be 100 years when we would be a peaceful, federated world and ready to ask membership, to join membership with the Federation. He said, I said to him, I'm going to piss off a lot of people when I'm going to say that. He said, if you are impatient, that means you're not ready. He said, calm down. He said, now 100 years, it can be either delayed, either speeded up, because it's up to you. That's regarding to what's happening at the moment, the data that occurs at that precise moment. But we can change always. We can speed up things by fighting more bravely, by raising our frequency with more work. And, you know, we have ways to speed it up. So less than 100 years, then I say. No, I hope it
Excellent.
answers.
And I think that proves the point that you know, it's vitally important that we learn as a species to go interstellar. That these technologies that we do have, you know, we do need to terraform other planets. We need to prepare it for our world population going there and living there. And to so many people, that sounds so crazy. But by us having this conversation, we're putting it out there in the collective consciousness.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
a lot of the people here who are following will probably see this and agree with it. You know, certainly I know a lot of people that I know personally. Well, that'll just be such a crazy idea. But it's time to get that into our consciousness, that we are going interstellar, that we have technology, that we can get to Mars in a very, very short amount of time. It's ready, it's there, and this is what's happening. And just another point I wanted to make about Tesla as well. I mean, again, a lot of people may know this, but it's an important point to make, that John Trump was Mr. Donald Trump's uncle, and he was a part of the operation that actually took Tesla's technology. And I have heard that it's quite possible that Trump is very aware of this technology.
Oh, he is.
Yeah. And it's time we support this agenda. It's not just about Donald Trump. He's just aligned himself with this agenda. I need to make that point, you know, just to keep it apolitical as possible, you know. But yeah, just a fascinating point to make there, you know, that this technology is there, and there is a very, very, well, like you say, it's game over for these agendas that have stopped it coming to us. And it's time to prepare our minds and our consciousness for this level of our culture rising, our vibration rising. So it's exciting times.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to add too, because I'm glad you said that, and about both of you actually, because Elena had mentioned 100 years, and then of course there's the Mandela effect and also the butterfly effect, and we can push, just like you said, we could shift it and we can make it quicker, but there's responsibility involved.
Yes.
Yes.
And because I
Education.
was on a trip recently in the last few months, and why I was on this trip meeting with all of these truthers, for some reason, all of a sudden, I was just bombarded with things in my inbox for Facebook saying, hey, can you confirm why you're there about the med beds? Can you please confirm what day the med, all the stuff, which I get these questions quite often, but not by the hundreds, within a short period of time. And so I finally asked, like, why are you asking? I asked a few people, and apparently someone had announced publicly on one of these shows that it would be just days, and this is months ago, that they were told that it would be just days that this was coming out, and how most of the people who were sending me this information had a loved one or a friend or someone who was in dire need of these med beds, and so they were actually super hopeful that it was going to happen because someone told them that, and they were like, can we sign up? Where do we go? Like, when is this happening? And honestly, a lot of these people made choices not to do the things that they had kept doing for their health because they were actually relying on this quick fix thing that was supposedly coming out within days. And that was the end for them, because this person was putting out disinformation, and or maybe they got the information and actually believed it, and they were just putting it out because they thought it was true. Either way, as a doctor, I'm seeing patients on a regular, and that comes up quite often as people are like, well, I could just quit doing all this stuff because med meds are going to be here any minute, and they just stop. And the short answer is, don't stop doing all the natural things that's going to support your immunity, because that's what brings a higher frequency. And then your body will use the technology that's already here to do what it's meant to do. Don't wait for some external thing to just fix everything that you did to get you there in the first place through your own choices. Take responsibility through your own choices that you made to get yourself there, and then reverse engineer yourself and remove the interference that you may have placed there, and be responsible by replacing those things with new choices to get your body's own technology to do the thing that it will do on its own, which is heal. We have the technology.
Yes.
We can do things naturally to keep your body in the direction that goes forward, to clear these things. And I work with people all the time to do that. So what are your thoughts on that, Elena and Craig?
Well, I think the best technology is effectively the immune system and the human body. And when it is altered, well, the energy being takes over and repairs it. We have the power. The power of our consciousness and our energy, the way we manipulate energy fields, it's unbelievable. We can modify our own biology. I mean, everybody knows that when we pretend to be sick, we feel sick. When we scared to fall, we fall. We have the control, and when we're happy, we don't fall. We're good mood, and we have less chance to fall ill. That's a whole question of frequency and the mind, the consciousness. That's the best machine ever. So, but yes, that. Taking your power away, giving your power away, that's the thing you were saying, Sharnael. These people, they gave their power away. And that's a big psyop at the moment. That's everywhere, in every domain, like giving your power away, that you're going to stop fighting and just wait to be saved by Jesus, aliens, Ashtar, whatever. Stop that. Anybody who tells you you're going to be saved, just do nothing, wait. Oh my God, no, that's psyops. science.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I
What do you-
couldn't agree more. Like we are the greatest technology that's walking this planet. You know, again, how far do you want to go on this topic? You know, we are very, very genetically engineered. We are very powerful, and we have lots of mixtures of all manner of species that makes us who we are, and we have been designed to be powerful creators. And you know, I couldn't agree more that, you know, we've got to make healthy choices. We've got to be educated about true health.
Yes.
Not pharmaceuticals. I mean, all right, if that's where you're at, and that will help you, it's your choice to make. But I think I saw a meme the other day that there is a plant for every ailment we could ever face, and it's about restoring these natural ways to enhance our health and our consciousness. And like you say, you know, we can I totally believe we can manifest healing. We can rejuvenate our own bodies, you know, in meditation. And I mean, you know, people in the East live for a long, long time. They live these lifestyles. You know, the reality is our lives in the West have been shortened because our food has been pumped with so much rubbish. You know, we've lived very unhealthy. And so, like you say, we need to do that inner work, the outer work, and be educated, you know, about what makes us healthy. So 100% support that.
Well, and I'm just going to say, you know, someone in the comments, I don't know who it was, I said, I trust no doctors. And I got to disagree, because I know a lot of really amazing, well, I am a doctor, first of all, and I truly do live by do no harm. The word doctor actually means teacher. And so going back to what Craig has said many, many times from the beginning all the way through on this interview, and anytime I've talked to him, education, research, you know, to be a teacher, to bring forth the truth is very, very important. And that's what all of us are doing, is bringing forth the truth, bringing forth love, bringing, you know, opening up, helping to activate and to bring forth the opportunities and within our own technology and within our own field to actually make a difference and to bring awakening here to the planet individually first, with responsibility to be responsible, not reactive, responsible, and then to live that, to embody that, to take action, to be God in action. And like she said, not wait for Jesus or, you know, Santa or Easter Bunny. And I love Jesus. Like, I am a fan. And someone actually, one of the questions in the chat thing was, what about spirituality and all this? Like, I would love to hear you guys' take on that. Elena?
Well, spirituality is being connected to who you really are. We are our own divinity, because when we connect with, when we are who we really are, when we are aware of this and we embody it in all full consciousness, we are connected to source. We're connected to the great source of all creation. And to me, well, that's my spirituality, the connection with the greater creator of the universe, this supra consciousness, just by connecting to yourself. My church it's my being, it's me, and there's no priest, there's just divine consciousness, and it flows. I'm a fractal of it, and we all, and that's it. Religion, it's dogma, it belongs to primitive systems, and we need it at a certain stage in our evolutions to follow rules and learn how to behave. Like when we're a child, we need rules. Parents tell us, don't do this. But then it's time we grow up. Honestly, it's time we grow up.
Wow. Again, wonderful. I totally agree that, you know, it's time to grow up. It's time to take responsibility for ourselves.
Yes.
You know, that's a big lesson, because so many people are waiting for someone to do it all for them. And that is spirituality. We need to stop dividing technology from spirituality. They're not separate things. They're one and the same. We are spirit beings. And that's that. And we're here to manifest these things as spirit beings, and raise the vibration. So yeah, that's tremendous. Love it.
That's so good. I like that separation. Separation is an illusion, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And Elena, oh my God.
Everything is spirit. Everything is spirit.
That's what I say all the time. Is there was a song that I learned when I was a kid that says, "A church is not a steeple. A church is a people." And I even went and got like stained glass windows on, a few stained glass windows on this church just to connect me with
Oh yes,
God and Source. Yes, yeah, and I mean, and nothing. I'm not anti-church as far as a building either. I think if that's how they want to get together, getting together is a great idea, and we're doing that right now. This is church to
exactly.
me. To
Yes.
me,
Yes.
we are living, we're connecting with God. And like I said, Jesus is amazing, and high scalar waves and all of those things, nothing comparable. And also, there's some great teachers, doctors, people like yourself who are beings who are bringing a high level of truth and love. And all of us, and even in the chatmosphere, you guys are bringing so much light and love and peace, and you're doing your part where you are, because we're not personally where you are. So you get to do love and light and peace where you are, and be the igniter of truth and love where you are living in all the places that are here. We have people representing literally the entire world on this live right now. I saw Sweden and Africa and everywhere, Amsterdam. So you guys keep doing all of that and bringing light and love and a higher frequency consciousness upgrade to your day today. Do you guys have any final words here before we pop off for the day?
Connectivity. The tool of the dark ones are to divide and conquer, to raise each of us against each other by many different ways. We need to stop this and unite in a unified consciousness. Stop focusing on our differences, what we disagree on. Stop that. Instead, let us focus on what we agree upon. What is the common points we all agree upon? Just let us work with that. And that's our only way forward, united.
Wonderful. Just following on what you were saying, Sharnael, as well. I'm a Jesus fan, but Jesus has done his part. Who's on the earth now? We are. We're here to deal with this, and I believe that we knew about this before we came here, and we chose to be here for this very reason. So it's time to take responsibility, grow up, and raise your vibration, raise your frequency.
Yes, I agree. And I love both of you guys so much. I'm going to cry. One thing that's really come out of this year and a half of new things is new people, new relationships. We are finding each other, and we have found each other for this moment in time. And I do agree that it was before we even got here that this was set up for now. And all of you on the chat, on the show today, you guys are watching because you're part of this evolution. You're part of this co-mission of love and truth. And we together have found each other, and we're not giving up. And we're staying in our love. We're getting those opportunities, sometimes a million times an hour, to keep recorrecting, to stay with love and truth as our north. Gosh, I'm so emotional. But it's close to my heart because I'm seeing things that I had been told about, 10, 15 years ago, and they're coming. They're here. We're living it. And I didn't know that it would come out of such suffering and choices, just that I didn't know that it would be ignited through the way that it has. But here we are, and we get to find out how courageous and how powerful we really are in this moment. And how do you know who you are unless you're actually faced in those decisions and choices that come to you and that show up? Because I say this all the time, but champions aren't born in the ring, they're made there. And with each choice and each opportunity that comes, we have the choice to react or respond. And a lot of people are reacting and a lot of people are responding. And then the truth still rises, love still rises. You know, our timeline, let's hold that timeline. Let's hold that frequency. Let's do our part individually today and every day, even moment to moment to moment, as we get to be here now for our earth and for our people and for this great co-mission. We mission together. And anyway, loved you two so much. Hope to do this again in a few weeks. You know, I just looked forward to this so much. And so thanks for hanging with me in the technical stuff, and I'll get that cleared away. But I will be watching you guys and looking out, and I just love all of you in the chat too. And thank you so much. Go to swiftfire.org to connect and get the newsletter. Where can we find you two so people can connect with you?
Well, my YouTube channel, Elena Danaan. I do a lot of free videos and Q&As, so you can interact with me there. And I have a website, elenadanaan.org, and you have everything on it, workshops, links where to buy my books, and so.
I'm on Facebook. I have 2 accounts because I keep getting banned. But also, I'm in a band, B-A-N-D, called Nth Ascension. You can catch us there. And my wife and I also run a crystal shop, crystalfalls.co.uk. Yep, just drop us a line.
Yes. So thank you. And you guys do get Elena's book too. It's amazing. So much information, so much beauty in that book. And we will get back with you on details on when we will return. There you go. Thank you so much.
That's it.
Thank you.
It's brilliant. I highly recommend.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, you guys keep being true and love wherever you are, and we will catch up with you guys on the next round. And please, I'm going to ask again to do your due diligence and share this. This is something that you can do you never know who's going to watch this, that it's going to spark a memory or activate something in their field or bring rest or some idea or ignite some call to action within a person. Believe it or not, the people that you most think would watch this are actually ready right now to watch this. Yeah. So share, tag, and send this loving beauty to whoever you know, and that's something that you can do to help humanity too. So much love to all of you guys, and we will talk soon.
See you later.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.